Okay, Kawasaki Vulcan. These gloves. Hopefully I stay warm enough. Oh wow, this is so much different. It's definitely got a different vibe. And just my leather gloves yesterday, actually, we went on a ride. So I went and bought these from Cabela's because my brother-in-law said they should be warmer because they're fleece. We will see. I'm pretty bundled up and pretty warm. These gloves are not the best fit, but it's the only size they had. So hopefully that's not a problem, and hopefully I stay warm enough. Brother-in-law's coming. It's a nice, beautiful day. There's like no clouds in the sky. So I'm excited. Garrett gets to ride the 48. Good?
It's just small.
I know.
It's so small.
I know. Do you want to ride this instead or no?
Huh?
Do you want this instead or no? Do you want this instead? Okay. This is so different. Okay, it's gonna take me like a few minutes to get used to this again. I haven't ridden this bike in years. I'm goosing it. Gosh, this thing feels like a tank compared to the 48. This feels so different. I just wanted to give him the opportunity to ride the 48 again because it's been a while. Basically, just when he was learning how to ride, he learned on the 48. Well, actually, he did learn on this originally. 2004 Kawasaki Vulcan. The 48 is right in front of me. That's my bike, well, our bike. And my brother-in-law is in the front on his Goldwing, which I don't remember what year that is. I think it's an 80s bike. I'm not entirely sure. Oh my gosh. No. A dog was chasing us. Holy shit. Hopefully that doesn't follow us anymore. Oh, my blinker's still on. I forgot these blinkers don't go off automatically. Little schmuck. Alrighty, well, okay. So far I'm warm. I mean, my hands are like, I can feel the wind a little bit, but it is tremendously better than my other gloves. They're a little bit warmer for sure, but I did just order some winter gloves off of Amazon today. That should be here by Friday, and they have decent reviews. I feel like you really aren't going to be warm unless you have heated gear, but that's like $150, $200, which I could invest in. I don't know. I just thought I would try another option first. The ones I bought were like literally 35 or 40 bucks. I don't remember exactly, but way more affordable. So thought I would give those a shot first, see how they go, and then I can upgrade from there if I need to, which by that point it's like, why don't you just invest the money initially? I don't know, but we're gonna try. So Garrett did say, I don't think you heard him, so he's right in front of me on the 48. I asked him how it feels now because he's been riding this and feels a lot more comfortable on the Vulcan now, and he said the 48 feels small now for him, which I'm sure it does. I mean, he's like about 200 pounds, 5'11", almost 6 foot, I don't know, somewhere in between there, and I'm 5'7", so I'm sure he does feel a lot bigger on the 48 than he would on this bike, obviously. Alright, I need to remember that these blinkers aren't automatic. This bike's not bad though. It's obviously not preferred over the 48, but oh shit, I forgot about the blinkers again. It's gonna be hard to get used to that. I'm feeling a bit rusty. This bike makes me feel like a new rider. Okay, I forgot about the freaking blinker again. We're so spoiled with all the stuff that turns off automatically. This is pretty comfortable though. I mean, like fit-wise, the handlebars, the seat is not bad. I prefer the 48 size-wise, and I think Garrett probably prefers this size-wise. He likes a bigger bike, but it's good for him to get that experience to know what he really wants when we decide to get the next bike, which actually was something I was going to talk to you guys about. I wanted to update you on like the bikes I've ridden so far at Harley, and kind of where we're headed, leaning towards for the next bike. So we only have the 48 at the moment, and honestly it's like you only really know and like what you know and like you don't know what fits you best until you've test ridden or even sat on different types of bikes. Like, so for example, Garrett, my husband, likes the 48, and he still likes it, but he preferred the 48. That was his favorite bike, obviously, because he's only ever had experience with the Vulcan and the 48, which, funny now, he actually prefers the Vulcan size-wise, I think, but he preferred the 48 because it was probably the nicest bike he had ridden at that point. But when you start to sit on other things, you know, when he came to an event at my Harley store the other week, he sat on a bunch of bikes. I had him sit on a lot of them just to see size-wise, like what he was leaning towards style-wise and everything, and I know he likes the sporty look more. Okay, I have these straps that are like on my chin mount for my GoPro, and they keep flying into my mouth, and it's so annoying. Ugh. Anyway, he sat on a bunch of bikes. He likes the sportier look. I do too. We prefer that sporty look, smaller, more classic looking bike, but we both favor the Fat Bob. So the 22 Fat Bob is the one that I test rode, and out of all the bikes he sat on, he even said that that was the most comfortable for him, so that's pretty good. We're in agreement on that. Initially I was thinking that we would each get a new bike. Like, I wanted to upgrade the 48 because it's a 2016. I wanted a newer bike, we could trade it in, blah blah blah. Trade it in or sell it back to my dad, actually, 'cause he's the one I bought it from. But then I test rode the Street Glide Special, the Road Glide Special, the Road King Special, the Lowrider ST, the Fat Bob, and I think that's all I rode at my store. But that gives you a wide variety of different styles of bikes to see what you like. And out of those options, the Fat Bob was for sure the most comfortable, probably because it's like the most similar to the 48. Also, look at this house. I don't know if you'll see this. Look at how freaking nice that is. It's like 8,000 square feet, maybe. I'm just guessing, but it's huge. Anyway, the Fat Bob is our favorite, and it's so smooth. It like feels similar to the 48, just like 10 times nicer. I mean, it's newer by what, 6 years, and oh, my hands are starting to get a little cold. Oh no. Warm up! Such a problem when your fingers start going numb. Anywho, I'm a little scatterbrained. So that's where I was going with that. So I was talking to our general store manager, and he's like, okay, what's your next bike? And I'm like, well, I'm confused because we both like the Fat Bob. Like, that's my favorite and that's his favorite. And, you know, if he's going to get the Fat Bob, then what do I need to get? And he's like, why would you get two different types of bikes? I'm like, because obviously we want variety. Like, I don't want us to have two of the same kinds of bikes so that we can switch off and everything. If we get two different kinds that we both like, then we can have variety. Anyway, I'm sure that's pretty self-explanatory. But he's like, all right, well, you both like the 48, right? And I'm like, well, yeah, but we want to upgrade it. And he's like, okay, and you both like the Fat Bob. I'm like, correct. And he said, so why would you not just keep the 48 and get the Fat Bob? And I'm like, I'm an idiot. I don't know why I didn't think of that. That's very obvious. So as of now, that is the plan. Here's where I'm stuck. So I do want a touring bike eventually. I have an interest in doing longer trips. I have an interest in going cross country and like going places for a week to a month at a time, whatever. Like, I want to be able to have the flexibility to put stuff in bags, because right now I have a backpack on. I always have a backpack on, which is fine. But I would like the flexibility of like bags, saddlebags on the side. Not a full tour pack, that's not my jam. Where I'm stuck though is that I don't have anyone to ride with. Like, I've met people to ride around town with, like some friends and stuff. This bike is, I'm still trying to get used to this thing. So the goal eventually for me is to get a touring bike, and as far as that goes, I'm still stuck on the street or road glide. I have no idea. The Lowrider ST, I love the look of it. I think it's such a pretty bike, but I don't like how it rides personally. I don't feel like it fits me right, and I would probably just have to do a lot of customizing to it to make it fit me right, which I'm not really interested in. I don't want to do a ton of customizing as far as like fit goes, like changing the pegs and floorboards and all of that stuff. I don't know. Personally, I just don't want to put a bunch of money into it after I bought it. So I'm just trying to find something that fits me better. The Street Glide and the Road Glide, I think, fit me well. They were comfortable. I mean, a little out of my comfort zone because I don't have a ton of experience with them. But I rode both of them and I did it, and they actually felt way more comfortable than I was expecting. So that's kind of where I'm leaning whenever I decide to make that jump. But I just don't want to freaking travel by myself. And as of now, Garrett doesn't have an interest in long trips, he says. But I used to say the same thing, and then it's like kind of a natural progression. When you start getting more used to bikes, then you want a bigger one, and then you want to go further, you want to go longer. So I'm hoping eventually he will change his mind, just like I did about that. But I've met a lot of awesome people just working a Harley, very encouraging people who obviously everyone kind of starts in the same place. A lot of people started when they were really young. Some people learned and started when they were like 40 or 50. So everyone starts in the same place, and you have to like just get experience by getting out there and doing it. And I met this woman last week at one of our events, and I was telling her that she's asking what bike I was buying next, and I was telling her about this whole situation, which is not that big of a deal, but I'm very confused about it because I don't know what we're gonna get. And I was telling her that we're leaning towards the Fat Bob for sure, but then I'm like, I don't know if I want to just take the leap and get a touring bike so that I have the options, but I don't want to travel by myself, etc., etc. And she's like, well, you're gonna just have to do it by yourself until you can meet more people to do it. And I'm like, you're right. It scares me because I'm nervous about things going wrong, or just traveling alone seems a little lonely. That's not the ideal situation. But I think, like, I also do believe that you shouldn't wait for other people to do what you want to do. You should do what you want to do regardless. And even if that means doing it by yourself because you don't know anyone that's interested in doing it with you, then you do it by yourself. So that's kind of where we're at. Still a little confused. Not sure when I'll do the touring bike leap, but someday. That's definitely on my radar. I am envious of people that do those long trips because I really want to do that. And I want to ride in other places. Like, Washington is beautiful. It is pretty, but it's cold, and I was gonna say freezing. It's not really freezing. We don't get a lot of snow in Western Washington, but it's cold. It's not super enjoyable. Like, you can do it when we have clear days like this, which is crazy, in mid-November that we even have a nice day. But it's not the most comfortable thing. Like, my hands are almost numb now, and we're making it work because we love to ride, but I would like to take the bike other places and ride in warm places and all of that. But speaking of that, sorry, this is rambling today, but it's kind of what you sign up for with motovlogs, to be honest. But my parents live in Arizona now, and my dad has an Ultra Classic. I don't even know what year it is, but it's a big bike. I rode it a few videos ago in the parking lot for the first time. And have done some drills on there, and I actually rode with my dad on the back for the first time through the parking lot, and it was pretty intimidating to me. It's the heaviest bike I've ever controlled. I mean, it's like 900 and something pounds when it's full, almost 1,000. The 48 is like, what, 500 pounds? So it's quite the difference, and it seems like I shouldn't be able to control it, but you can. I mean, if you know how to ride a bike, and you know how to do it well, then you can pretty much ride any bike. On that note, we are going to visit my parents at the end of December to celebrate Christmas with them for a couple days. And I told my dad, I was like, okay, after riding the street glide and road glide at work, I have gained a bit of confidence. And I told my dad, I am going to ride your bike on the street when I come visit you this time, because when we were in the parking lot last time, I was like, I am not taking this thing out on the street. That is so scary. But I actually think I could do it now, and I actually know I can do it now. So I'm going to challenge myself to accomplish that the next trip. And depending on how I feel about that, however that goes, then I will ask my dad if he's willing to be my first passenger on the road. He's a pretty brave guy, and he's the one who taught me how to ride anyway, so it's a testament to his training if he feels comfortable riding on the back anyway. But anyway, that's kind of all the updates about bikes I have for you guys. My job's going well. It's been fun to learn all the things and meet all the people. Well, it's a cool house. Look at that view. Freaking dream house. I will say this is a lot smoother than I remembered / expected, to be honest. Still preferred me a Harley, but It's smoother than I was expecting. I'll give it that. Also, update on the gloves. My hands are numb, so it's a different look, but I'm still freezing. Hopefully those gloves that come in this week are better than this. I actually can't feel my fingers right now. Like I just know where they are, so I know how to move them, but I can't feel them. For sure frozen, 100%. Like literally everything else is warm. I have I have fuzzy socks on, I have my boots on. I probably could have even put like wool socks on, that would have been better. But I have a base layer on. I also have a pair of leggings on, and then I have jeans. And my legs are a little cold, but literally not bad at all. And then my top, I have a base layer on, and then I have a sweatshirt and my riding jacket, which is oh shit, this car is coming fast, which is extremely warm. And then what else was I gonna say? Oh, I have a neck warmer on right now, which helps a lot. And then a full face helmet obviously keeps you warmer. So yeah, body wise I'm fine. It's just literally my hands. Like every single thing I try, my hands are freezing. So maybe I do need to just invest in heated gloves. I don't know. If you guys have suggestions, please let me know down below, because it's like everyone's like, oh, get heated gloves. Okay, but which ones? Because they range from like $100 to like $300, and I don't want to spend $300 if I don't have to. So if you guys have cold hands and you know a brand that works that is like kind of affordable, because obviously you don't use it year round, and I'm not like riding that much because I work now, so if it's nice on my days off I ride, and that's pretty much my only options at this point. So anyway, that's my dilemma these days. I kind of hope we're going back because I'm so cold. Hi, it's Future Editing Taylor here. I just finished editing the video and realized I never actually closed it out, because when we got back to the house, we ended up just leaving the bike there overnight, I think, or maybe Garrett drove it home that day. I can't quite remember, but anyway, I didn't end up riding home, so I didn't get any more footage. But thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this, and I'll see you next time.